In this whiteboard session, we're going to talk about the 4 cash flow quadrants. But before that, I want to ask a question. Why do you think that your parents send you to CSB? For most of us, the answer will be they sent us to this school because they want us to get a good education. And by having a good education, we will land a good job. Now, what do you call those people who have jobs? They are called E's or employees. Now, there's nothing wrong with being an employee. It's a very nice source of income. You have what is known as a salary, and every 15th and 30th, unless you get laid off, you have something coming your way. Okay? The problem though with an employee is that you don't have your time and you're always at the mercy of your boss. But even worse than that is the problem that even if your salary grows over time, for most of us, especially those, with exception to those that go to very, very good companies that have very, very good salaries, inflation grows at a higher rate compared to your salary. Meaning to say, when you reach retirement age, when you're 60, 65, or 70, maybe you will not have enough money for retirement. That is why Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the famous book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the inventor of the game Cashflow 101, recommends that maybe we should also explore other ways of making money aside from being an employee. So here are the 4 ways in which you can make money. Now let's go back to this chart. Here you will see that even if the salary is beneath the growth rate of inflation, the growth rate of business and investing is definitely higher than that of the inflation. So there are 2 ways in which you could get into business. According to Robert Kiyosaki, you can be self-employed or you could set up your own big business. So what's the big difference here? Self-employed are people who normally go to business on their own, using their own sweat capital. These are technical people like lawyers, doctors, engineers, okay? What is good about the self-employed is that they have their own time and they could work at their own pace, unlike an employee who is always at the mercy of their boss or the administration of their company. Okay? They are more in control of many of the things that happen in their business compared to the employee. But what is the big problem of the self-employed? Because the activities of their company or their business are heavily dependent on them, if something happens to them, then they have no income. For example, you have a doctor here. What do you think will happen if the doctor gets sick? Will he get paid? No. Because if he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. And all of us, because we are only human, get tired. So even if you're at the peak of your health, if you get tired, then you cannot work. And if you cannot work, you will not have any money. Okay? Compare the self-employed with, say, B, which is big business or business that has a system. Good examples of big businesses are those that have very, very good growth potential, like franchises, from the smallest food franchise to the biggest food franchise, from the reliable food cart all the way to McDonald's. Okay, these are big businesses. Big businesses have systems. They are systems driven, meaning to say if the people here, the managers here, the owners of the company, were not around, the business would still continue to run. Here, if the doctor is absent, the doctor does not get paid. In the big business, if the owner of the business is absent, say the owner owns a certain McDonald's, would he still get paid? Yes, because the business can run even without him. Even if he goes on vacation for 1 year, that's okay. The business would still run. And that is probably one of the most beautiful things that a B business can give you. That is the gift of time. Because if you have more free time, you can use that free time to set up another big business. And on and on and on and on until you could have a bigger and bigger income stream. Another way in which you could make money is by investing. So you could invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. We're going to talk about this when we go to our field trip at PS Bank and the Philippine Stock Exchange. Whereas for these two, being a self-employed businessman and a businessman that has a big business. We will talk about these two when we go to Asian Institute of Management.